Nigeria continues to grapple with the scourge of exploitative child domestic work, a practice advocates describe as one of the worst forms of child labor and a direct violation of the Child Rights Act of 2003. Despite existing laws, recent surveys show that over 24 million Nigerian children are in child labor, with a significant number trapped in hidden domestic service that robs them of education, safety, and dignity. It was against this backdrop that stakeholders gathered in Lagos for an advocacy roundtable organized by Develop Center for African Development with support from the Freedom Fund. Themed Strengthen Policy and Collaboration to Prevent Child Domestic Work and Protect Affected Children, the event convened representatives from government agencies, civil societies, communities, and child protection groups to chart solutions and strengthen enforcement. Panelists from the National Orientation Agency, the Lagos State Law Reform Commission, the Federal Ministry of Labour and Employment, amongst others, highlighted their ongoing efforts while stressing the need for stronger collaboration and effective enforcement mechanisms.
The International Labour Organization does not encourage a child to work. So it is a no-go area. Any child that is being paid for working can be overused. And these are children, we need to reorientate them. And that is why National Orientation Agency is saddled with the responsibility of orientating and reorientating. These children are vulnerable anywhere they are because they are under 18.
The child rights law, as it is right now, already made provision against, it frowns against any form of child exploitation in the guise of domestic work. Section 25 through to section 29 of the current law already states it clearly that no child should be subjected to any exploitative labor.
Part of our duties is to also identify these big cases, child labor cases, all these domestic exploitative cases, human trafficking cases, and also, modern slavery, forced labor. So it is part of their duties also when they go for inspection to identify all these issues and they report it.
The Director of Child Development of the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, Ali Andrew, disclosed that the ministry has initiated a review of all child-related policies as part of efforts to strengthen the protection framework under the renewed HOPE agenda.
The Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, under the Minister, Honorable Imam Suleiman Ibrahim FSI, has taken a bold step because immediately she came in, she realized that this issue of domestic child violence is very prevalent in so many forms and in so many ways. And she therefore asked for, is there any policy on ground to address those issues? There are policies, but the policies did not address the emerging issues. So she now asked for the review of all policies that has to do with child labor, that has to do with child protection, that has to do with child development, every policy and vulnerability of the child in general. She has constituted a committee, and the committee are looking into it. And as I'm talking to you, the committee have finished all their policy review, remain to go into the field and start harnessing all the stakeholders' view to develop the policy so that all these issues will be addressed.
According to organizers and other stakeholders, the roundtable aimed to unite government, NGOs, civil society, and the media in developing actionable policy recommendations to tackle the menace.
The aim of this project is to bring together stakeholders, government stakeholders, NGOs, civil societies to come and address exploitative child domestic work. And this is a roundtable discussion, which one of what we wanted to do is for them to come up with policy recommendations that we can use to address that issue of child domestic workers and the children that are affected by it.
The government has its own part of coordination and making sure the laws are there. The civil society, what we call the frontline organization, are also out there to ensure that the provide some of the support at the community level. So this meeting is so strategic because it speaks to more of collaboration, it speaks to partnership. Like it's often said that if you want to go fast, you go alone, but if you want to go far, you tag along with somebody.
And there are so many communities in Nigeria who still believe that this is a practice that their children have to go through. Apart from the economic reason, there is also this issue of because it's something that's part of their culture. So it's high, and then the children continue, and as a result, children continue to suffer a lot. So what we do basically is to emphasize and to keep emphasize on the parts, on the dangers that it portends for children, such that when people understand this, we know that when they know that the service that children render cause a lot of harm, then there will be a lot of succor to these children.
Participants applauded the initiative, noting that the discussion deepened their understanding of the issue and strengthened their resolve to act.
What I've learned today is to go back to my community and to sensitize more people who claim they know, but then they are actually not doing the right thing. Because with what we've discussed today, even me too, I'm a victim of somebody that is staying with me. But now I need to go back to the drawing board to make sure that I put everything in order so that nobody will be, persecuted for doing the wrong thing at the right time.
The event concluded with breakout sessions where stakeholders proposed practical recommendations to prevent exploitative child domestic work and protect affected children. Speakers stressed that eliminating child domestic exploitation requires stronger enforcement of the Child Rights Act, well-funded protection services, and a cultural shift that rejects child servitude. They called for a united response from government, civil societies, communities, and the media to ensure every Nigerian child enjoys a future defined not by labor, but by learning, dignity, and safety. Victoria Akonde, TV 360 News, Lagos.